Now I'm 36 years old. You can imagine, nilianza nikiwa 24. 24? 22. Yes, 22. So nimekuwa nikifundisha for the last 14 years and I'm so grateful that when I see mkika hivi naona Sara, I can see Ian hapa, I can see my good friend ako hapo kwa media, I can see most of the children wenye walipitia kwa mikono yangu na ninafurahia kuwaona. Kuna Njeri wa Kimata, nilikuwa nikikimbizana nao nikiwaambia wakuje na Bible na notebooks. So I thank God so much. Na above all, I thank you parents for your support and allowing our children to come. I am a husband of one wonderful girl. Ayuko hapa lakini anakuja baadaye, na watoto wawili, David and Natalia. And today I'll be the one who will be ministering to you. So, and I want to start with an analogy. One day, imagine yourself, you are seated down with your family and you are watching your television. And as you are watching your television, unapata ile breaking news. So unajua pale breaking news inakujaga hapa katikati in red. So unaletewa breaking news, and then ukishaletewa breaking news, na tafadhali mtanisamehe nitaongea Kizungu, Kiswahili na Sheng kidogo kwa sababu hii maisha saa zingine tumelelewa kwenye Sheng, so mtaniwia radhi. So unapata ile breaking news pale chini. And then unaambiwa the football committee, the athletics committee of Kenya has decided to select you to participate in the next year's Olympics. Mr. Dube, umeambiwa you have been selected to participate in the next year's Olympics. Kitu ya kwanza utastuka. Ukikumbuka ile mbio yenye umekimbia ni wakati mvua inanyesha. Ushiona mwanaume akikimbia mvua ikinyesha anakunjaga boti. Ama wakati chai umeekelea tai pale kwa jikoni na umekumbuka chai inaenda kumwagi wa mama. Ile mbio tunatokaga siku hizi nasikia tunaambiwa kwa Kiswahili kwa Sheng ya mtaani tunatoka siaka. Ni ile kutoka unyoya. So na unaanza kujiuliza maswali. You start asking yourself, out of the 50 million in Kenya, yani wameona tu mimi tu ndo nimeona nikimbie. Now you start pondering and asking yourself questions. Sina hata nguo ya kukimbia. Mimi na hii kitambi yangu kweli nitakimbia kweli? Sina hata nguo, sina hata viatu. Now, let's go back to the other side. The same way as Christians, we have been called by God to run a race. And my sermon today is Run the Race. And we shall read from the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, from verse 1 and 2. Therefore, since we are surrounded by a great cloud of witness, underline your word, cloud of witness, let us throw off everything that hinders, underline hapo, everything that hinders, and the sin, underline hiyo jina, that easily entangles us, underline pia hiyo, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. So, we have been told by Paul, therefore, we have a great multitude of people watching us. Let us throw off everything that hinders off our sin, that easily entangles us, and let us run with perseverance the race marked for us. So, the nature of this race is that you have been chosen by God. Just like you have been selected to run the marathon, you have been chosen by God to run his own race. Sijachaguliwa nikimbie mbio ya bibi yangu ama ya watoto yangu. The same case, you have been chosen to run your own race. Own race. Own race. Own race. Individually. The moment you are saved, you are called individually to run your own race. Hawezi kimbia ya mtoto yako, hawezi kimbia ya bwana yako, hawezi kimbia sister yako, na yeye mtoto hawezi kimbia mbio ya dadi na mami. You have been called, each one of you, to run that race. The moment you receive Christ, you are told to run for that race. Then, the second thing is, it's both a context and a conflict. Now that's why tumeambiwa pale, everything that hinders the sin and the sin that entangles us. You know, wakati a marathon ama mtu anakimbia, kuna wakati unapataga ile una lose motisha. Unafika pahali unajiambia, kweli will I make it? The same case to our Christianity life. There is a lot of sin. There are things that are entangles us. Mimi sijui yako. Jiulize, what are the things that entangles you? So this race is a context and a conflict. And ask yourself, are you better today than you were yesterday? Are you of more godly today than you were yesterday? That is the question you need to ask yourself. The second one is, it is unique to each person. Wakati mnaonaga marathon, unaonaga kuna zile line zinakuaga zimechorwa. Those are paths that each athlete has to take. Na athlete akivuka kwa ile line ya ule mtu mwingine, they are disqualified. So the same case, we as Christian, we have been given a path by God. A path has been chosen for you and me. And this race is very unique. Like I said, you cannot run the other person's race. It is unique. It is yours and yours alone. The question is, and I want us to ask ourselves, will you train yourself? Unajua sisi wa Kristo tuko na katabia kingine kabaya sana. Tunasikiza neno leo, tutakuja kuisikiza tena next Sunday. Abu jiulize, katikati ya hii wiki ulikaa chini na ukasoma hiyo neno? Hata mimi nikiwa mmoja wao. Jiulize, katikati ya hii wiki ile neno yenye ilipatio Sunday, Monday ulifungua hiyo kitabu penye uliandika notes na ukasoma. Jiulize, katikati ya hii wiki, did you attend fellowship? Katikati ya hii wiki, did you take even 15 minutes to pray? Ama ulitupa blanketi, ukakunywa chai na ukachomoka. This race is very unique. Everyone has been set for their own race. Your path has been chosen. The moment you accepted God, that path was chosen. The question is, will you wake up and start training? Ama utakaa tu pahali uko? The second thing is, this race requires endurance. It requires endurance. Do you know how many hours an athlete takes to train? An athlete takes 4 hours for 310 days. Tufanye hiyo math. Pick your calculator. Pick a calculator. An athlete takes 4 hours for 310 days. Training for 4 years. How many hours are those? Sarah? Esther, how many hours are those? Aya, amujafungua calculator? Open your calculators. Nimesema an athlete trains for 4 hours a day for 310 days a year. Per year. For 4 years. How many hours are those? Sorry?
4,960 hours.
Yes, 4,960 hours for only an event that will only last for 1 or 2 hours. Now, where? How many hours do you train? How many hours do you read the Word of God? If an athlete can train for 4,960 hours just for an event that lasts for 2 or 1 hour, what about you? How many hours do you train for an event that lasts for a lifetime? And that's why I've told you, you need endurance. You need to endure. If a marathon person can train himself, unaonaga wakiwa huko kwa milima Iten, wamekimbia, wakikimbia, asubuhi saa 10 wameamka. Training for an event that lasts for only 1 hour or 2 hours. What about you? Unafika hapo katikati unaanguka tu unasema, hii maisha imenichokesha. Hii maisha imenichokesha. Will you train yourself? Will you endure and persevere? The other one is, this race includes obstacles. Wakati mnaonaga wale wanakimbia kwa steeplechase, kuna zile cones zinaekagwa ama zile tuvitu tunaekagwa, unaonaga jamaa akikimbia anaruka, akikimbia anaruka. The same case. Hii race yetu ya Christianity, usikadhani ati ni smooth. Sio smooth. Iko na panda shuka zake. And if you read 1 Corinthians chapter 9 verse 24, Paul is telling us that, do you know that in the race all runners run, but only one gets the prize? Do you not know that in a race all runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as you get the prize. There are obstacles in this race. The goal is not to become perfection, but the goal is to become more like Christ today than you were yesterday. It's not only about perfection, but Do you want to become more like Christ today than you were yesterday? Then I go to the principle of running the race. And Timothy says in 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 7. No, Paul is saying in 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 7, and he's telling Timothy, train yourself in godliness. Have nothing to do with godliness, myth, and all wives' tales. Rather, train yourself to be godly. The key principle is transforming in not a matter of trying hard, but training wisely. Transformation to be a better Christian is not training harder, but training wisely. You have to be wise in your training. To grow spiritually, you must consistently practice. You must consistently practice. Every day you have to pray. You have to kneel down. You have to train yourself to become a better Christian. That is the principle of running this race. How many times have you heard the sermon and you shrub it off? How many times have you trained yourself? Then, as I wound up, I say the need for endurance. A story is said of a young boy who was running and running. And each time he was running, he used to fall down. Every time he falls down. But do you know, every time he fell down, he used to pick himself. Every time he fell down, he picked himself. Then, when he went to the finish line, he asked his father, "Dad, I did not win the race." And do you know what his father told him? "Son, to me, you won the race." And he told him, "Dad, what are you meaning?" And the father told him, "You know what? Every time you fell, you picked up yourself. Every time you stumbled, you picked up yourself. So to me, you won the race." And the book of Hebrews chapter 10 verse 36 says, you need to persevere so that when you have done the will of God, you will receive what is promised. And 2 Timothy chapter 2 from verse 12 to 13, it says, if we endure, we shall also reign with him. If we disown him, he'll also disown us. If we are faithful, he will remain faithful, for he cannot disown us. Success as a Christian in this race is not all about falling. You will fall many times. You will stumble many times. But the question is, how many times will you rise up when you fall? How many times will you rise up when you fall? Back home, after the athletic committee has left, you are left pondering. Will you start training? Will you stop being lazy and start reading the word of God? Wametoka wameenda. Umebaki hapo na familia yako. Umeanza kujiuliza, will I get off my comfort zone and start training? Now, ask yourself as a Christian, today, will you get off your comfort zone and start training yourself? Remember, like I said, each one of you has been called to run the race. Each one of you. But you cannot run the race for another person. You can only run your own race. So, I know sometimes life will give you challenges. You are about to give up. You are about to quit. But I want to tell you one thing. God has not given up on you. So don't give up on yourself. You need to train wisely, to endure patiently, and leave the rest to God. And He will help you to finish the race. I've said two things. You need to train yourself, endure patiently, and wait upon the Lord. He will help you finish that race. So I don't know what is going in your life. Umekuwa na panda shuka mingi sana. But my friend, you need to endure. No matter no matter the many times you fall down, you need to rise up. You need to train. Do not become a passive Christian. Do not become a passive Christian. Unasikia neno hapa, inachomoka hii side ingine. Unasikia neno leo, but you never practice. Train yourself. Hii mbio ya Ukristiano sio rahisi. Usipo train, mimi na wewe, haya tutaanguka. Na tunaangukaga kabisa. You need to train. You need to read the word of God. A Maradona anavaaga zile nguo. Spike shoes. Havaagi koti kama mimi. Ati akiambiwa ati trouser inararuka. No. Anavaaga zile nguo lightweight. So that he can be fit to train. How many of you have heard the word of God and practiced the word of God? How many? Ama kesho ikifika utakojea next Sunday. Next Sunday, and then unasema Mungu ameniachilia. Train yourself. And endure patiently. Because God has not given up on you. So don't give up on yourself. Wake up, read the Bible. Kneel and pray. Go back to your notes and check. Try to remove every sin that entangles you. And at the end of it all, you'll say, like what Paul says, I have fought a good fight. I have kept thy faith. And I have won the race.